Anyhow. Hey, Anne, welcome to 14 Minutes of Fame with Missy Henkel. Hi, everybody. Today we have a wonderful guest, Anne Tucker from, oh gosh, I'm having trouble with my crown today, Anne. So Anne Tucker from Anne's Business Solutions. So Anne is a business and branding strategist and coach, and she helps women in business who are either just starting out or already in their business journey with their branding and making sure that everything looks cohesive and stand out on all the social media pages. Not a social media manager, though, are you, Anne?
No, I'm not.
No.
I leave that to others.
That's right. Yeah, yours is how it makes sure it looks right with all the right colors and things. And then a social media manager manages that on the pages as well. So, Anne, so I've got this question that I want to ask you is, how did you fall into this space?
Right by accident.
Okay.
I do have a big corporate background. I've worked as a CEO for many years in an aged care setting and ran that group for 20 odd years. And then I basically decided it was time for change, and I was looking to do just some maybe more work, consulting work in aged care. So I resigned, took 6 months off and took up painting again, which is something I used to love doing but didn't have time. Mum was living with me at that point as well. I started designing templates for my art business, which is what it started out to be. So I was creating graphic design templates for that. And people were just saying to me, oh, can you do it for my business? Can you do this? Can you do that? So I started to lean a little bit more into that. My daughter opened a candle business with a very diverse path I've been on. And I helped her do that for a couple of years, as well as the templates. And over time, so that was probably 4 years over that period of time, then I started to get people who were asking me advice during that time on what to do in their business with certain areas because of my old corporate background. And I haven't relied on that, because what I did do when I've always been a learner. I've always been a learner. So when I stepped into the small business field, I went into that with a vengeance, and I looked up, as we all do, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. And I've learned along the way that most of that you discard anyway and go with a bit of basic common sense. So the branding was something that is a creative thing for me, something that if I can't paint, I'll design, and I still get that creative thing. And the business is something that, as I said, is just something I've done all my life. And over time, people have asked advice, and I've decided to focus on that particular area of helping women who are starting out or already started their journey, but just need a little bit of guidance along the way. So that's where it's all come from, in a very long answer.
Nice. No, that's all right. So I noticed your rise to fame. I've known you from like Women in Business Connect, so online, Women at Business Connect Central Coast for some time. We've been networking together for 4 years, I suppose. It's been the whole time, right? So for 4 years, and I have seen you change from talking about the candles to Anne's design space, and then the templates that you've had on Etsy, and then it turned into that branding where you literally talk to people and coach them about their things. So I've seen you change around. What do you attribute your rise to fame? Because you've now moved into, last month you were a finalist and a winner, I believe, at the Women in Business Connect Awards. So for those who are watching, think of the Academy Awards, but for networking. And Anne, what was your category that you won?
Most inspirational member.
Most inspirational member. So you've gone from just being a member and having never been nominated. They have the awards on each year. You've gone from being a member to not just being a nominated member, become a finalist, and then you win the most inspirational member, which to me I find is one of the best. I think that's probably my most favorite of all the awards, the most inspirational member of a group of 1,200 women. and you're the most inspirational member. So what do you attribute to your rise to fame?
I genuinely like to help people. I think that's really, I am a people person. Um, I'm a learner, and I said that earlier in the piece, and I like to share what I've learned, if it helps other people. So, that's why I do give presentations and I talk about various areas of expertise that I've learned things, and I share it with the community. I think that's probably the main reason. I'm easy to get on with, and I do have that genuine desire to help people.
Nice. So I'll give you a couple as to, I believe, for your rise to fame is your consistency. You consistently turn up. You're always pleasant. You run your elevator pitch. You're just nice to everybody. You didn't get fussy when you had to change things. You started with candles, and when you changed it to Anne's Design Space, but you weren't talking about candles, you didn't make a big show of it. You just kind of just changed it and then just kept going forward. If people wanted to ask you about candles, or they did, even though that's not what you were advertising, you would still talk about candles and you would do that. And then with Anne's Art and Design Space, well, that's just what you do. I know that as a branding and business strategist, and that you do how to sell, how to brand your business and coaching sessions, like how to brand your business coaching sessions. I know that that's what you sell and that's what you say in your elevator pitch, but that's not necessarily why people ask you for help. There's other things that I've noticed, particularly this year. You've been a speaker a couple of times at Women in Business Connect, but it hasn't really been on branding, not to, as the way I see it. It's been on how to use AI. And like you said, you're an avid learner. And then in your just chat to people about, oh, well, you could try this and let's try this. And hey, let's look at this. You've then been asked to speak on some other topics, which ultimately has just helped women in business in general. But your consistency of just learning, helping others, talk to them, and not being fussy about, no, I don't do that. It's like, let's just jump in and have a little look and see where it goes. If I can help, I'll do it. And if I can't, I'll point you in the right direction. Let's start and see where we're at and see where you need to be. And I really do like that about you, Anne. And I think that's what's really helped attribute to your rise in fame and to be the most inspirational member, because truthfully it is very inspiring to see one continue to turn up and to change things and not make a big deal out of it. There's very few people in the world that have this when their name is mentioned, right? So I can do one with a mate of mine from networking. Used to be at Business at Breakfast a couple of years ago. His name was David Ritchie, and every time someone would say David Ritchie, they'd go, "Oh, I've never met a person who just gets that comment." Like, I have people who say, "Oh, Missy's great," but I have others who go, "Oh, yeah, that Missy. Yeah, yeah, right." And it's not because I'm deliberately, whatever it might be, that instills that in people. It's just that we all have that on both sides. David Ritchie, no matter what, no matter who I met, no matter what it was about, whenever his name was mentioned, he had this calming effect. That name had a calming effect on everyone, and it would still be there today. But actually, I have to say, you've kind of got that too, Anne. I can't say that I've come across anyone that hasn't gone, "Oh yeah, Anne Tucker." Like, it's a nice feeling. It's not a, "Oh yeah, I know Anne." Right?
Uh-oh.
It's something that's very easy to talk to you about, and I suppose as a result, that's how you get to help women improve what it is that they do. I know for me personally, I'm not a digital person, yet here I am doing podcasts, 40 minutes of fame. For those who are looking at it, if you have a look at my tiles, I didn't make that. I don't do the digital stuff. Anne made that for me. I just said, "Anne, that's your task, hook me up, send me an invoice, make that happen." But then Anne spent an hour teaching me how to do it. And it's not that it takes an hour. It's just that she quietly just went along and didn't get fussy about what I didn't want to learn, and then press this button and then press this button. and then you're going to do this, and I'm going to send you the recording, and if you don't take notes, it's okay. And then I did things with her, and I'm not going until you press this button. And then as a result, I did a few things, and then I left you, and then I made the titles for the ones prior to this one. And I did a good job, And then I went back, loaded it all up on YouTube. I have to say, it was a week later before I loaded any more. Went back into Canva and gone, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I've got this. Went in, changed some things. That was fine. Went to download the link. Couldn't find it anywhere. So I download the link. So I could kind of see it as a zip file, but I couldn't access it. And I'll go on, okay, YouTube won't let me find that. I need to call Anne, and then I'll change something, but I did something she told me not to do, and let me see if I just press something else. And then I pressed 13 different things, and one of those things made it work. But truthfully, it was because she was so slow with me that allowed me to learn it in my time. And actually, I think usually I take 2 lessons to learn anything, because I like with you, Anne, is while I tell you, I refuse to learn this, you go, yeah, no, that's cool. Let's you not learn it. Now I'll get you to press this button and this button and this button, and you don't have to learn any of it because you're pressing this button. And I have to say, you do have a very easy way.
I have a very good strategy for you, Misty, and that's so that's fine. Don't worry about it. But why don't we just do this?
I know. So, but I like that you can pull apart the different personalities and just know which one you have to be slow and gentle with, and which ones you have to say, you know what, sit down, be quiet, get it done. And, so which ones you have to move around with as well. So tell me quickly before we finish up, what's your most favorite part of the work that you do?
I actually love creating, to be honest. I love creating for people. I love creating for myself. So I write blog posts as well. So I like writing. I still love the design work. I still love making candles. When I'm stressed, I'll go and I'll go make a candle. I love creating something with the people I work with. Whoever that may be, like with your YouTube, getting that YouTube stuff up. That made me really happy because I'm seeing something progress out of it.
Yeah.
And I've got a saying, there is no problem that doesn't have a solution. There is always a solution. And it's just how you approach things. So it's that creating and seeing success, not for me, but for other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Anne, I really enjoyed having you interview, being able to come out for your 14 minutes of fame here today with me. And I do love networking with you. It's a shame we don't live so any closer, but, I don't feel like we aren't next door. We see each other so much. And it was it was very cool to have caught up with you a month ago and seen you in real life and had lunch with you in real life. For those who don't know, I mean, I'm reasonably tall for a woman, but I mean, Anne sits, I don't know, about at my armpit.
About or
now,
less.
I never assumed you were as tall as me because most women aren't, but I have to say, you were tiny.
It's quite different standing when we're standing next to each other, and it's
I know. You're like a hamster to a guinea pig. It's very good. So yeah, but amazing good stuff comes out of you, and it's fantastic to have met you, and congratulations on your award, most inspirational member with Women in Business Connect.
Thank you so much. Really enjoyed it.
Excellent.